Hello, welcome back to another episode of Move for Move. This week I've got a very exciting skater to introduce you to. He's one of those skaters, if you know, you know, one of the smoothest skaters out there. I'm just gonna let him slide in and introduce himself. My bro.
What's going on, Mr. Miller?
What's going on?
Skate like water. Nice to see you guys.
Whenever I see Skate Like Water, we kind of talk about moves more in a conceptual space, and we don't look at just a move, but the idea of where move sits. So this one's going to look at a few skate concepts. Within that, we're going to break down some moves. This is going to be a technical one. This is going to maybe push the levels a little bit. What I would say also, whatever we show you, we always encourage you to find your own way to skate. These are examples of stuff that resonates with us and we hope can inspire you. Any words for them?
Get ready, because like you said, it's going to be technical.
Let's go, bro.
Let's go. You can do a lot of stuff at one level, but as soon as you change, it might look different and feel different, and it's good for you to explore those avenues.
A simple way to start is just about getting on our plugs.
The jam plugs or the toe of your boot, it's important to know to lean back with it. Once you're comfortable there, you want to drop down, right? As much as your legs will allow you.
And when you're first going onto your jam plugs, your foot is maybe a lot more forward than you're used to it being.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you've got that nice bend in your knee, and then, as you said, getting the weight over the back of your skate.
Yeah. When you first try it, that might not feel comfortable at all, but once you lower yourself down, you're in perfect position. Maybe you can talk a bit about when we first did that, you couldn't reach, right?
Oh yeah,
do you remember? You could only,
yeah.
And you worked on getting to that point. So what was it that you did to get from where most people would be, here, to getting it fully down?
Practicing getting low in that position, and also varying my height. So being here, getting low.
Yep. Cut it into small little sections to feel out, because it's different muscles engaging as you change levels. The way that I like to approach that is a bit different to other people. They would normally do what we're talking about, practicing going down nice and slow and calm. There's a lot of slow, calm stuff that I do, so I like to change it up. I personally like to drop and come back up.
So that's our first move, is one to try. So you want to take your time and learn getting on one plug at a time.
But once you are comfortable, it's both, right?
You are isolating the move, so when you're using it in flow, it's going to be doing something that's more natural to you.
We'll go down. Go down. Once you get down, try to catch that bounce point, right? So a lot of people get here, they'll stop for a second, and then they have to push back up. That initial point where you bounce down is the same point you bounce back up. That's very different to, so it's important to use your bounce. If you have trouble getting up from there, try 1, 2, 3. Use the momentum of the bounce and get used to using that. Yeah. I think the best one to get into off of the back of that is that one. Again, most people would drop into it really slow. That's the style you see, right? Whereas I will put my leg up and drop into it, and I'll come out of it really quick. The foot that you're balancing on, you're putting your weight on, goes directly under you. So you kick it to the, And once you're comfortable with where that would be positioned, you can hold that, right? It doesn't have to be bam, it can be, you can slow it down.
So down, boom.
Yes.
Then in terms of getting back up from here,
it requires a lot more
strength on this leg to push back up.
On any single leg, right? Because you would normally have the two to work off, but it's really good for you to build up work on one leg at a time as well.
Things in terms of body.
If I'm facing this way, before I've even hit the move, I've shifted here with the lift up of the foot.
So your body's got this rotation over this leg and then it comes back.
So that's, what is that? That's like a 90-degree on each side.
Can't go as low as you, but
it's all good. It comes in time, just like the squat. That is something to remember. Just because you see something done a certain way and you can't get there straight away doesn't mean you can't do it. Just keep pushing.
It's literally taken me when they showed me that.
That was a while ago. That was
about 1 year just to get this.
Yeah.
And being
it's patience, right? Otherwise, if you didn't have the patience, you wouldn't be able to do that right now.
Yeah.
So that's why it's worth pushing.
And also, you really have to get the weight onto this side of your body, right?
Yeah, and learn to place your body weight over that leg to make sure that once you are going up and down, everything is stable. My body weight is directly over the leg that I'm using.
And that's why you see people here, they'll have both arms over this side of their body to keep their body weight over this leg. And then one other technical one, the angle of the legs. I sort of always learned that I'm considering this, if this leg's at the front, there's that angle here.
But me being me, I don't like to do things the way everyone else does them. So
what's your approach?
My approach varies, but I don't do the standard out. I prefer more at an angle, right? I prefer it to go out that way rather than straight in front of you. It's more of a style preference or an aesthetic preference rather than anything too technical, which is important. If you like to be different, work on being different.
So the next move is one of your signature moves.
Yep, we are going to get into the splits, but the way that I do it.
I'm going to let you know I can't do the splits. I haven't tried it. So you're going to get the perspective of someone that probably can't even do this move. I'm going to try my best.
We all start there though. So we are going to start by being in a T position. Your feet are staggered. There's a bit of a space. One foot is facing outwards, but it's spaced directly in between the skate behind. We are going to lean forwards, putting our pressure on this back leg. We're going to put our toe up in the air and we're going to pop onto the side, the inside wheels.
Ooh.
And we're going to pull back. That pull back is really important. Try not to strain yourself, so don't push too far. Whatever feels comfortable for you, if that's comfortable, hold it there. Use this inside muscle and this foot to pull back. So every time you practice the move in another session, you just need to push it a tiny bit more. A tiny bit more and a tiny bit more each session turns into.
Any tips from here?
Okay, so my tip for you, you have a really good flexible ankle. Try to keep it a bit stiffer. Don't let it bend so much. I'm trying to keep it relatively in a similar position that it would be standing, because as soon as we fold it like that, that's actually putting a lot of pressure in all the places around the ankle. And that keeps the tension for the pullback as well. Like
with every move, there's always like a few technical points that can be the barrier between you sort of achieving the move. For me, I think a big thing to work on, I'm not gonna get this today, is that tension in that back foot. And keeping it
changed completely.
Yeah, it's changed. It was doing this before.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna have to take it slow and just work on that tension and then gradually build the flex to get lower.
A lot of the times people will want to pull off one wheel, right? And you can, but it's a stylistic preference, right? So for the move, we're learning to pull back evenly, but if you was to be stylistic, you would probably change it up a bit as you're coming up.
This is another one of your signature moves that I've seen you specifically do. Essentially, you're going low, you're sort of tapping in with the knee.
And when you would normally see me doing that, if I'm doing something like this, I will double it up. And every time I pop in and out, I'll go down a bit as well. We are in a staggered V. This foot goes forward a bit and this one comes back a bit, and we're going to put it out. As we pull it in, we're going to point our knee to the floor. And then as we go up, this is going to go out and this is going to point back out.
Oh, so this one, there's a roll in and a roll out as we stand. In terms of when this is hitting the ground, this kneecap on the ground,
be very careful. I have messed my knee up a couple of times doing this. Better to be an inch off of the ground, and then if you do overcompensate, it's a light tap. If you aim for the ground and you hit your knee too hard, you're gonna hurt your knee.
We're in a nice studio with a nice smooth wooden floor, so we've got a bit more leeway. So if you're doing these outside, do pay attention to the texture that you're skating on.
We would want to practice this, not even hitting the floor, just as close as you can be to the floor. And popping up.
Are you popping this toe up or no?
That is my preference, but it is up to you. I find that easier. You get to a certain position, your jam plugs won't be there anymore. They'll be facing that way. So you need to use the toe of your boot to get that purchase.
So initially you're landing on your jam plugs, but as you get lower, then you're rolling onto the toe of your boot. Off the boot, back on the jam plugs as you come back. So
facing this way when we start, facing straight forwards. As we go down, we gradually turn 90 degrees that way with the knee, right? Our chest ends up facing the same way the knee does. Mr. Bellows putting me through my paces, I'm not gonna lie.
Would you ever do this move on your bad side?
No.
Yeah.
No, and that's bad practice. Do as I say, not as I do.
Watch his IG, one side.
Trying.
Also, anytime you learn a move, when it's a new move, I'm learning a lot of these for the first times, so I'm learning the formality of it. Once you got it, then you smooth it out.
Yeah, definitely. It's funny that you're further ahead with that move than I am now, because he chose to practice his bad side straight away. So he's already ahead of me, technically.
That's my philosophy in skating, teaching is try and work both sides. And be kind to your bad side. It will reward you in the long run.
So it's the same movement, just each time you pull the knee in, you go down a bit more. I usually do 2 and then hit the floor. So I usually go 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, boom.
At the end, it was a bit messy, that's all. It was the right thing though.
No, I can't have the messy, no.
We're down here, right? How are you pulling out of that now? Okay, so you would end up like that, right? And I would usually just pull it back towards me. Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Okay, not perfect, but it's gonna do for now because we got some stuff to get
Nothing
through.
is ever perfect. Perfect is an idea in your head. You can just keep polishing and making things look lovely, and people will say they're perfect, but you know they're not. But it looks like that, right?
So we're just gonna have a couple looks of moves in my repertoire on this idea of dropping low and getting up. I'm gonna push your limits now. The first one is we begin the same as before, down onto the plugs, but when we come up, onto the heels. So down, down, up. And then in terms of adding something onto that, I would often go down, up.
Okay.
Down.
And how do you land it clean at the end? By putting your toes
So my emphasis
down.
was, once I've done the flare, into the spin, bringing the toes
back to parallel.
Yeah, because then I'm ready to do whatever.
Yeah.
That's one little sort of drop down move I do. So a variation on that, down, when you come up.
Okay, so off of the toes,
Off of the toes.
Okay, so.
Have you done that one before? Because that was clean.
It felt nice and clean.
down. So a few tips on that one. As I'm going down, as I'm coming up, I'm also thinking body. Because that's what's giving me the turn, is that posture.
I'm trying to remember to keep my core tight for that spin up.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you don't, then it kind of...
Then you're gonna be to the
yeah,
side.
it's gonna twist you out. Oh, we go for 2, yeah?
A bonus, I have to give him a bonus.
Okay, let's go for 2.
Bad boy.
Nice.
As you know, my teaching philosophy, anything you do one way, do the other side as well.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what...
Okay.
We're going to be in a little debate in the edit about what to keep and what to... Yeah.
I mean, if you're keeping my bad stuff, you're keeping your bad
Nah,
stuff.
bro,
That's the deal.
Slick, when you're editing this, you get that bonus. When you are coming up, in your spin, you're trying to keep even, so you're staying centered. So when you're down here, your body's rotating, but
You're staying
still trying to
directly
keep
above the rest of yourself, right?
as if someone's pulling you up, and you're pulling your body up at the same time.
And that tip helped me a lot, so listen to it.
And then, like everything, allow yourself to relax out of the move, because then you're ready to go into something else rather than ending too stiff. How did you find it?
I find it nice but strenuous. But that's a good thing. Most new things are. It's just a different approach to something that I do already.
So let's just go for 2.
All right.
2, 3. Wait, did I do 2 or 3?
You do 3. I think he does 3 or 4. I don't know. I feel like I stopped and he went wham, wham, 2
You know
more
what it
times.
is, when you're in that pocket, you just have to keep going. In terms of learning, I always say, even like with a normal spin, think about building it slowly and finessing the exit. So
Yeah.
start by 1, feeling in control, and then moving on to 2 and feeling like you've finessed the whole range of the move. Level it up a bit more is we go down and our exit is a 360 jump.
So this is your finisher. What tips have you got for me?
As you come up, rotating through the body and getting ready to bend the knees as we land.
Okay, so similar to the spin,
Yeah,
but the jump is
We're
added
adding the
into
jump,
it, right?
yeah.
Same sort of movement.
yeah, and this is something I'm still working on, so it's got room for improvement. Down. You have to be careful with ones like this because they got an impact when you land.
Okay, what tips have you got for me for landing?
Or trying to land even on our skates, and again getting that absorption in the legs and in the knees.
Okay, so
And even if you don't land completely center, don't force it. So if you end up here, I'm gonna cut to some clips of me doing this nice.
I was about to cut to some clips of him doing it nice. Okay.
Don't worry, bro. When it don't go to plan, we'll just cut to some Instagram
Yeah.
clips. I don't do this a lot because actually when you land in the 360s, there's impact there.
Yeah.
And I think the philosophy of a lot of our skating is to be smooth and light.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I like to land anything I do quite light and move on to the next. Whereas when we're doing something like this, whatever we're doing it from.
See, but even that, right? How long have you been doing that?
I practice it intermittently, but literally over a couple of years.
Okay, so there's things that you do that started out very hard,
Yeah.
but they're not anymore.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I reckon that is one of the things, if you keep going, you'll be able to get a soft landing.
Yeah, yeah.
You've got a way softer landing than I have, right? My landing's out of control.
Yeah.
So it sounds hard because you have hard wheels as well. But you're
Yeah,
actually
exaggerated.
landing on it quite softly, to be honest.
Next thing I'm going to talk about is something that we talked about before. It's this idea of excavating a move.
Yep.
And taking one move and using that as a way to create lots of other moves.
A good way to think about that is to break up any move you've got into its main parts.
So we're going to look at the Grapevine as an example of breaking down different elements of a move and excavating a move.
Okay, so I would say the basics of a Grapevine would be 5 moves, right? So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're back to 1. If you do not have that last bit, you will find yourself getting really stuck with the grapevine. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the basis of a grapevine in its steps. Once you take away the steps and you roll it, that becomes that is also a way to search your move, right? You said to reverse it, but you don't have to do the whole move to reverse it. So you could isolate part of the move, which is 1, 2, 1, 2.
So you're stopping here. You know what's hard? Coming, stopping, and then
Using that tension, right, from there.
no, that's gonna make the difference here. My wheels are hard. So actually yours can stick. So
Yeah.
when you get to here,
Yours just want to keep moving.
yeah, so I can create tension, but I almost have to roll back first.
A grapevine, you can start it under, which is kind of how we were starting it, right? Because I finish out here. So we pull it back like that, right? But you can start over as well, which is pull over and then out. So those two entries, those are the start moves of the grapevine. So either under, okay, you can go back that way, under, or over. But what happens when you just do those two first moves together on each side? And then over, and then over, and then over. So we've just taken the first step of the grapevine and used it on both sides and connected it up, and it turns into its own thing. So that's part of excavating moves and chopping them up and messing with them to create new stuff. The way you keep track of that stuff is, I think we was talking about this, right? Sometimes you kind of picture a tree.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the move that you base all of this off, which is the grapevine for us, that is the root move. That's right down at the base. And everything you make from that kind of spawns out, but it goes in branches, right? So this is the first step of the grapevine on each side, okay? But once I add a leg over, okay? Once I do a leg over, that is all the same thing. That's just adding a tiny little thing onto the end of it, right? So now we've got what? Two moves off of.
You know what? But they feel and look different. Yeah, my brain's still calculating that.
So you want okay, so
I have to do this in my learning. I have to be like this half speed, just so I can process.
okay, so we're gonna go over and behind. And then we're gonna go over.
When you're going over, are you over on your toes?
It shifts, so it goes toes, heels, and back to flat,
Toes, heels,
and back to flat. It's more to get that flick, so it can go behind.
You actually,
There's like a swipe, right?
you're giving yourself like a little
It's
swipe.
like Mr. Miyagi stuff. It's wipe on, wipe off.
Wax on, wax off.
There's a tiny little
Oh, so
yes. And once we're here, we pull the other one over, bring it around, little drop, pull it over, bring it around, little drop. Learning the control on that last bit. So you can pull it over and you get here. So you can extend the whole thing by learning control. And that control is keeping the toe really light, like a T-stop, so it just slides.
out.
Because that little bit of drag helps you extend it, learn the control, but it also makes you concentrate on when your drop is
And
going
it's
to be.
just a subtle thing of timing.
So from the Grapevine, there's like holding positions. So if we are going to do the Grapevine, it's that T-stop thing again, right? I'm doing the Grapevine this way, and if I hold this position, so that way was a forwards one, okay? This way is a backwards one. Same concept as the one we just did, but instead of using a leg over, we're doing a leg under, or behind, however you want to refer to it. I find the behind one a lot more techie, but it looks really nice and it feels very rolly.
Are you letting that heel lift? You are, right?
Yeah, it's constantly. Again, to move off of that, to show how things branch, we go like this, and then we flick, I would call that like a flare, it's just a style thing.
Okay.
But once you become comfortable with a flick, okay, you can, half speed would be behind, flick, bam, bam. So for me, when I do this move, I will start to dribble it out. You're trying to keep your weight over the leg that's going out, so once I'm here, it's a weird thing to lean over, but that's why it looks and feels so different, because it's not what you're used to doing. But I feel like it sets you up to learn balance in a really good way. Show me once more. You're going, lifting it up the whole time. Yeah. We are going bam, bam.
Oh, I didn't get that. So,
and that's already you're creating a distance, right?
You know what?
You can lean over it.
It's that small thing. Gonna take a while to get the style.
Yeah.
But
listen, Mr. Mello might take a while, but when he does pull it out, it looks crisp. It's always, he'll come up to you a year later and show you your own move, and you'll be like, oh wow. 1, 2, 3.
We're gonna try this side as well. Boom.
Okay, so what I'm noticing is that I do not lean over it as much, so I need to practice. Is that it? Is that, because it's my bad side.
Sometimes when you're recording yourself, like aside from putting stuff on Instagram, whatever, it's actually a very good way to assess your form.
Yeah, that's the main reason why I record is it's like game tapes. It's a boxer watching for what they're doing wrong, you know?
Yeah.
And what they're doing right as well.
So one thing I've seen you do quite a lot in your videos is jam plug, then you're kicking back, kicking forward.
We want to get this rocking motion here. Okay, and on the pull back, we are going to hop onto the toe.
First is that motion that we're turning out the heel, pulling back the skate. And then as we're doing that, we're going onto the jam plug at the same time.
The key to it is to try and get it up as high as you can.
Okay.
So try to aim for it. It's not going to hit your head, right? But try to aim for.
And how long are you holding that part?
That is a preference to you. I personally let the music dictate to me, but it's not going to be any longer than like a second and a half. Like think about the strain that's on your body and your back when you're in that position.
Yeah.
You might not want to hold it for too long. Now that sets you up for, it's all about that rocking motion though, right? As soon as it goes down and the heel clicks down, you're ready to plant all of your weight and your balance on that foot. So we can, instead of practicing here, we can practice it forwards, right? I usually go same
hands, yeah.
I've seen you do something very pretty, which is like,
oh yeah, slide back.
Yeah? So that also belongs in there as well, right? It's like bam. So seeing connections where there are some really help. When things are similar, it means they belong together because it's going to click up really easy.
That's something I'm going to have to work on, is finessing is that flick and that timing, because that's what will make it musical, no?
Yeah. I prefer to keep my leg locked out, my knee locked out, because it helps you get a better swing. If you're going to do such an elaborate big move, there's no point doing it halfway, right? You might as well get the fullness out of it.
So that was a session with Skate Like Water. I got through half of my shot list. So we're either gonna come back and do pickups, or you guys are gonna have to wait for the part 2.
I want to see you lot working on it. If I don't see you lot doing it, don't ask me for part 2. The work needs to be there.
So
right?
we give you this, show us some stuff, we come with part 2. Again, this was quite a high level, but with any of these moves, you just want to take part of it that you can use. You might only take a section of it and implement that into your style. You might create something completely different. It's kind of the whole point, is to be creative in what you do. This is showcasing some of Skate Like Water's creativity.
Individuality is the biggest thing, right? Work on it, because it's important.
What are your socials? How do people, if you're not following him, I'm not sure where you've been.
My socials are Skate Like Water, SK8 Like Water, that's it. Thank you, sir. It was a pleasure to skate with you.
No, and I appreciate it. And you're going to see me working on those, tweaking them, and then we're going to return.
I always see you working,
Yeah,
but I'm looking forward to the next one.
All right, bro. Lovely to have you on board.
Big love, bro.
I'm going to catch you soon.
Definitely.
Peace.
Peace.